someone um, who would like a point of inspiration can give us a recap of what happened last time. Yeah, that was actually pretty good. Uh, that was pretty much what you meant was that you remembered everything. Yeah. Yeah. But yes, you guys were making your way through this narrow section of woods, kind of on your way towards the bone grinder. And before you on the trail, a figure walks alone with the stride and bearing of one who knows no fear. Clad in rusty armor, it clutches a gleaming longsword in its pale hand and looks ready for a fight. Um, at first, you all might have mistaken it for a zombie, but as it approaches and gets closer, um, pretty much all of you have a high enough passive insight to sense the intelligence and hate in its sunken eyes. This revenant is clad in tattered chainmail that has a pauldron that bears the sigil of a large silver dragon swooping across like one shoulder. Um, and it is making its way like towards you on the trail with like this intent and purpose. And as you all approach, like you're within about 30 feet away, it kind of waves its free hand in front of it and says, "Step aside." Roll me an history or arcana. I will uh, let you choose. Thirteen. You know that revenants a bit are not your typical undead, and because they're not zombies, but is basically a spirit that has inhabited a body for a purpose. And with a 13, that's all you can remember. It gives a nod to Devon and continues to kind of step slowly past you all. Roll a history or arcana, your choice. Everyone can. History or Arcana? Yeah. What was that? 13? Okay. 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 In typical Liam fashion, I assume that means you rolled like a 1 or a 0. Oh, Liam. Oh, Liam. Yeah, with a higher number 14, I think you don't really remember much else other than they have a purpose, basically. I'm going to kill Strahd. What was that? Are you going to stop me? He says, kind of brandishing his sword up in a ready position. Your enemies of the devil. And, like the Revenant pauses long enough and like lowers its sword to kind of turn and face um, Bran fully. He's like, "Your enemies of Strahd, I urge you to travel to Argynvostholt and convince Vladimir Horngard, our leader, to help." Argynvostholt. I will give that in. Mm-hmm. He has. He nods. He says, "He has forbidden us to enter the castle. But if you can convince him, we might be able to take the devil. It is not our place to question." The Order of the Silver Dragon still serves. The Order. Yes. They are all like me. Um, it's rusted, and you, as he's kind of like stopped to talk to you all, you can see like the fresh kind of grave dirt, like in like some of the like rings and nooks in the armor. Considering Barovian nature and culture, you would have no frame of reference. But you do know silver dragons are good. So to be a paladin of such an order, that would be, um, you know, gives you some. Yeah. I mean, they must be.
On the map that we were, kind of briefly went through, was this Argon Volchholt place visible? Meant or
Um, that's my I'm looking at the map.
I don't believe it was on the map, so I might turn to, Arlena and Ismark. Do we know where this place is?
I'm looking on the map myself for its location. Um, and Ismark says it's not not far from Vlaki to the south. And not that he's gonna pull out the map and like show you right there, but
Sure, sure.
he could.
As long as they know of this place,
Mm.
then we have to. I'll to the Revenant that we won last time, and we'll see what we can do. What's your name?
I don't remember.
He like steps aside.
Have you seen wolves?
A few days. Don't think we haven't at this like in the journey. I've not seen any wolves or heard them.
No, you haven't, but you did come across a bundle of clothing that you suspected to be.
Werewolves.
Yush.
There's some clothes. Could be for a werewolf.
Where?
The crossroads. The gibbet.
The gallows. I know them. Thank you. And the Revenant will turn and start to walk back in that direction, the way you guys came.
And I look to the others, and they're slowly retreating. The Revenant. Isn't fair to just carry on like that, eh? I don't think so. But it's his choice.
Right.
Moving on.
Bit of an unpleasant existence, if you ask me, Ismark says nervously, like watching the figure retreat.
His rest isn't gonna come easy there, eh?
It won't ever come as long as Strahd's alive, Irina says. It's probably the same for most of his kindred.
Just some people we gotta help. Just some people we gotta help put the rest there, eh?
Right, just another poor trapped soul of Barovia. Let's hope we don't join them, eh? Ismark says.
Uh, Bren isn't so sure, but he'll pick up the pace again.
Right. So yes, you guys are free to continue traveling down the road. Um, it's about noon-ish right now, and you guys just turn and head back down the trail, as it were. And uh, the rest of your journey pretty much goes pretty much uneventful as you travel through the woods and come back out towards like this open section, and you can now see the um, windmill in like the distance. See the old Svalich Road transitions here from being a winding path through the Balanuk Mountains to a lazy trail that hugs the mountainside as it descends into a fog-filled valley. In the heart of the valley, you can see a walled town near the shores of a great mountain lake, its waters dark and still. A branch in the road leads west to a promontory, atop which is perched a dilapidated stone windmill with warped weather vanes stripped bare. Do you all approach?
I suppose we do. Is there any signs of activity, like fire, smoke, moving at windows?
Uh,
Anything
roll
that
me, roll me a
we can
perception
see?
check.
Alright. 11.
Ooh. The onion domed edifice leans forward and to one side as though it's trying to turn away from the stormy gray side, and you see gray brick walls and dirt covered windows on the upper floors. A decrepit wooden platform encircles the windmill above a flimsy doorway leading to the building's interior, and perched on a wooden beam above the door is a raven, and it hops about, squawking at you as it sees you approach from uh, the hill below, seemingly agitated.
Must be quite a big scene. How high up is the raven?
It's like on a beam above like the door. So, like in that picture, there's like those little four doors or whatever. It's on that like little wooden edifice on like the outer side, and it's just kind of like hopping up and down. It's not like squawking loudly or anything. Like it's not trying to do an alarm, but it's just kind of like watching you all approach, and it's hopping. Huh? You can see a few ravens kind of circling on like the other side of like the hill, but you can't see what they're encircling until you approach the windmill and look down on the other side.
Just remembered something. Didn't they say about not hurting ravens? God.
No, that's the crows, Ismark says. It's bad luck to hurt a raven.
That's what I thought. There was that woman with something, some power here. Hags its room, didn't it? I thought someone said.
Mm,
Not hold on. Those noise, yeah. Maybe it doesn't work for them.
you guys approach and get closer?
Cautiously. Can they stealth? Use.
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll take stealth checks from you all.
Son of a bitch. Oh, so that's a 7.
Oh, I got an 11. I
Why?
also got a 7. But I am on your level, Liam.
I managed a resounding 12.
I got a 14.
Well, yes, you guys approach the bone grinder mill, and like the raven kind of like cocks its head as it's watching you approach, and you, as like Meadowmane is like trudging his way up the hill, he doesn't quite see, like there's a bit of uneven earth, and like trips and kind of takes a knee for a second, and you can actually see like the bird wince and like uh, hang its head for a moment before it looks back up at you all.
Getting grief.
But who would be in the lead here?
One monster hunters.
I was thinking,
We'll
yeah,
go
Devin would be.
Devon, maybe, with the better stealths.
Yeah,
Devin, Bran.
I'll take Bran.
Okay.
I'll be beside them as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Team Alexander's at the front.
And then Meadowmane and Meadowmane and Minar, I
Mine.
assume. Okay.
Double
Yeah.
M.
Double M, the M&M in the back. But yeah, as you all approach the Raven, what's your passive insight there, Devin?
Passive insight is a 12.
Very nice.
Oh,
Very nice.
13. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yes. So as you all approach, like the Raven is definitely not acting as though it's an alarm bird. You can tell because it's just kind of like anxiously hopping and kind of like it looks down at like the door below it and then like looks up at you all and kind of shakes its head, like kind of mantling its wings.
Okay. Let me see for that.
Would you say?
It looks like it's trying to warn us, maybe.
Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
It bobs its head and kind of ruffles its feathers a bit and seems to decide that its message has been given and takes off in flight.
Oh.
Brand sort of does the thing where his hand comes out. Just to find anybody in. Just a little.
But it flies off in the direction of the town and the valley by the lake. There's still, as you're like approaching like the crest of the hill, you can see on the other side of the hill where the other ravens are circling are four ancient stones that are kind of like these large megaliths that are just kind of arrayed in a circle at like the bottom of other side of the hill.
We go in the window and go investigate and then kind of raise our chin towards the stones.
Is there a window on this level?
There's just the door, and as you're like you guys were close enough for like the bird or to interact with the raven, like the windows of the mill have been like covered in mud and dirt, so it's impossible to see into or see out of.
Uh, how far stones and how far away is are we from behind the mill?
Like if you're up on the hill, you'd be pretty close to the windmill. Like you can just kind of see the circle of stones.
Okay, like close enough that if we were quiet for a moment, we may hear activity if there's anything
Mm-hmm.
at all. Like
Yeah.
listen out.
I'll take a perception check if you'd like to listen.
Cool. Oh, I should have my little book. 9.
Anyone else trying to listen?
I rolled a 15.
Hmm.
I got a
Big
15 as
modifier.
well.
Is that it? Just highest is a 15?
16 for me.
16? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you don't hear anything within. There is a kind of an awful odor that you can kind of smell kind of creeping under the door. Kind of sulfuric.
I'd say maybe they're off for the day, but Raven tends to indicate that not the case.
Yeah. I don't know if it means just the front door of the Shroud, but just not going no more. Come all this way.
I can kind of scout around the other side and see if there's another way in if you want.
Yeah, or we can check these stones. Just don't want to go behind us.
Our lady disappeared, right?
Yeah.
She could be around here, maybe?
Dan kind of like looks around, just tries to eye if he can see anything, and then kind of a little like admitting defeat, I guess. Like, yeah.
Interesting. Alright, the stones or I'll look for another way in.
Turn into the others. Anything jumping out?
Yeah.
Why would it feel right not? Let's just go inside and have a look around there, eh?
Well, they're not suggesting that you leave. They're suggesting looking around for another way in.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
taking his point then.
Okay, okay.
So we want to do the road first. Just give Dev some time.
You want to check out the stones while she's searching up here there, eh?
Up to Dev. Okay.
Alright. I'll say it out loud.
Okay. I mean that's easily done. Arena and Esmark will go with you all to the megaliths down the hill, while Devon kind of circles around the windmill. We'll do the
Maybe about halfway between two.
sure.
Cool.
Um,
About halfway down the hill, I suppose.
who is yeah okay. So I'll assume Minar and Meadowmane and Reese are with uh, the NPCs.
Down at the hinge, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down at the hen. Okay.
Right. So, yeah, as you approach like these, the four ancient stones, each moss covered stone bears a as you approach bears a crude carving of a city, each of which appears to be associated with a different season. The city of winter is shown covered in snow. The city of spring is arrayed in flowers. The city of summer has a sunburst overhead, and the city of autumn is covered with leaves. Arena and Ismark kind of wander around. Arena raises a hand and kind of like lays a hand over the one with the flowers. There are several ravens that are circling overhead, and one of them is pecking at something at the top of the stone that depicts the city of autumn.
I'll go back on a closer look to see what's been packed up.
Okay. As you approach the stone that has the autumn city on it, you notice that in front of the stone is a small circle of white objects, and you like bend down and to to inspect them, and you see a small pile of children's teeth that are just kind of arrayed in the center in front of that stone.
Oh dear.
And the
Um,
and you kind of hear like the peck 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 of like the raven beak on something on the stone above your head.
pull up the Raven and back up a bit. Uh, I believe I found something over here. I don't know.
What's that, Derry? And he looks down and he sees the teeth and he goes, kneels down, picks one up.
As you like pick up the tooth, you kind of feel like this weird shivering feeling cross over you, as though like um, it's not like kind of like raises the hair on the back of your neck and makes your sideburns feel all tingly or something. But you kind of get like this uneasy feeling of like your skin is suddenly too tight, as though like these were placed with a purpose, and their presence here is bad.
I need to move these, Derry. Their positioning here doesn't make me feel right. I need to move these out of here so I can give these kids a better path into this. Is there anything else here that looks like it's been placed here and shouldn't really be there?
Um, like Arena will kind of turn to you and say the that there were. I've read about legends of the four cities of paradise, where the Morning Lord, Mother Night, and the other ancient gods first dwelled. I wonder if these are erected to honor them in some way. The old gods, having those there, that's a desecration.
Well, it's
Yep, I knew what you were trying to say.
undesecrated. You said it
Viewpoint
with a lot
change.
more panache and charisma.
Yeah, sure. And the raven, whenever you're like asking if there's anything else that's here that doesn't belong, you kind of see it like turn its head and use like the top of its skull to nudge what it's pecking at down onto the ground, and you see one of the dream pastries uh, fall and like kind of shatter open as it falls into like crumbs, and it falls into like the center of teeth, and it has like an uneasy symbolism, as like the like raven kind of like looks at you all with like intent, with an intent stare.
Merlin scoops up all the teeth and the pastry in his hands and like moves them to like out of the circle of stones.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing happens and places them down and then back he gave the pastries back in Barovia.
He's what?
Once he's out of the circle,
Mm-hmm.
puts the teeth and the pastry down, just kind of no particular order, just kind of puts them down and gives
Mm-hmm.
them the same last rites he did for the pastries in Barovia.
Mm-hmm.
Finish this off. I hope your next life is better than the one you just led.
And that kind of like tight, like uneasy feeling kind of leaves you, and the like arena kind of like goes over to like the city of Autumn Stone and kind of like stamps out where like with her foot where the teeth had been.
Hmm.
He says, "Do you have any holy water, Father?
You check private. Not bad.
Or can you bless it again?"
I can do that. I certainly. Oh, I do have holy water. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah.
like
Let's just
use
double check.
you don't have to use like the entire thing, but you can just kind of like sprinkle the ground where like the teeth had laid, and
Before I do that, I want to check every other stone to make sure there's no like children, femurs, or something kicking around.
yeah, no, easily done. It seems like most of the offerings that were left here were left for the autumn stone.
Okay. Okay, because yeah, I'll sprinkle some holy water on it and say some sort of blessing like, "May the morning Lord return to your walls and bring you peace and light again," something like that.
Very nice.
Now, you not mentioned that these cities um, and the morning lodges are all connected. So, what what's the tale surrounding autumn? What makes autumn
Special.
Uh, I'm afraid I don't rightly know. I just know that these were supposed to be the cities of paradise.
Can we assume that because this one's autumn, the other three are spring, winter, and summer? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's fairly obvious because there's like snow on one, there's flowers on another, a big sun on another, and autumn and winter.
Is there any way to look at them in order to see if there's like a story being interwoven throughout all the stones?
No, they're just kind of they're very crude, but it's still yeah, but it's like pretty much like a like ancient carvings that other than like the teeth like hadn't been like defaced in any way, but like they're just kind of a symbol of the old gods before this land was cursed, you think?
Does it kind of feel like everything's kind of back to a normal state now?
Yeah, you kind of get like this like that tight uneasy feeling that you had is kind of gone, and there's like a little waft of like a gentle breeze that you smell like, more rosy scents
Yeah.
that kind of like make you feel a bit better. uh Reminds you of Melora a bit. Or not Melora, Shanti.
Shanti.
Sorry.
There you go.
Wrong deity. Wrong,
Yeah.
oh, wrong nature deity. I'm sorry.
That's totally fine. Face feels a lot better now, eh?
And the raven kind of flaps its wings at you all and kind of like puffs up its crest as though proud, and then flitters
Weird.
off.
Okay.
Uh, uh,
Okay. Totally fine. Apparently he can understand me, but I can't understand him.
it nods at you and flutters off in the same direction as the first one that you saw. And back to Devon. You make a very slow and stealthy and careful circuit around the old bone grinder. Can't hear the mill turning within, but you're listening carefully, and you circle, and you circle, and you circle, and you only find the one door.
Does that door appear to be trapped?
Make me an investigation check. Cat.
Okay. That will be a 14.
It doesn't appear to be.
Alright, I'll kind of walk back a little bit and kind of like crouch down and keep watching the window and wait for everybody else to return.
Okay. Yeah. You all Bran, you watch like the exchange down by the stones, and the others come back up, and Devin is just kind of waiting for you patiently. And you all kind of congregate again in front of the door.
Yep.
You see anyone doesn't appear to be trapped? No?
Um, it's a multiple levels.
Mm-hmm.
But did you say there was doors further up, or are they just big windows?
Big windows.
Multiple big windows.
Mm-hmm. They appear to have like mud caked on them from the
Hmm.
outside, and the stone walls. You could climb them if you wanted to, but that might make noise.
Sure.
But there is like that little lip of a platform beneath the second level, but there's not really one on the third.
How sturdy does it look?
Yeah.
It looks like it could support your weight. Um,
What about like Meadowmane, who's like a big guy? I don't know, but
if there are people within, Meadow might not be able to climb up with enough quiet to
I'd take a long rest.
to avoid being noticed. Like it is climbable, definitely is. It's let's see. Let me take home look here. There's actually um yeah, area between area 1 and area 2, it's only like it's like an 8-foot climb, so you could easily like climb on top of each other, and like one of you could like get up onto that ledge. But like I said, there's not really a ledge for the third floor, and like there is like an outside, or not an outside opening, but there is an area inside the little onion dome, but you can't really tell that from up there because there's not a window up in that dome area. So you just see like the door and the two windows. You definitely could get to climb up to the second window and stand on that ledge. And if you wanted to, you could circle around to the other side and climb up one of the sails, and shimmy, 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 shimmy over to area 3 window if you wanted to.
that's what I'm not like. So the mud is built. Looks like it's like on the inside of the window.
Outside, like they've like someone has taken an effort to block out.
So while I was doing my circle, I couldn't have like taken like a small like I had like kind of take a little bit of it off to see if I can't see it from there.
You would have to climb up. There's not a window on like area 1. So like area 2 is where all of the windows are. And then area 3 has got windows all around. Cuz like it's like there's like a window facing north, south, and west, east and west or whatever, but they've all been blocked out. So it's like
I'm taking a look right now.
yeah. So you can climb up there and clean some of it off and get like a peek into area 2 if you want to. And you could climb up, shimmy shammy over to like the other side and peek into like the north window. Because you could probably, because it's the way that incline is, you could definitely easily climb using like the sill that's there. You could climb up and see into area 3 as well. But whether or not you could, you know, you might risk falling if you lean off of the sail to clean a window. But area 2, you could definitely climb up and take a peek. Yep, I'll take an athletics check, or unless someone wants to give her a boost.
I can give her a guidance.
I'll give her a boost if she wants. You easily just give her a boost.
That's what I was saying. And I can also give her guidance.
You're also very tall. um,
Why are you afraid? Just like leave me there.
shh, 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 shh. The Irina says, "You'll need to be quiet. There's things in there."
Why are you so afraid?
What am I having it for?
What do you mean this?
What do you think the raven was warning you for?
There's things in there.
I wouldn't have been keeping a lookout if it was empty. Just shush, she says, looking at Meadowmane.
Do I need to roll or can you like just kind of?
Yeah, no, that's
Hands on my shoulders, you're probably behind him.
exactly. It's like one of those things like you just, go over, hit triangle, give me a boost, and then like, you get like the cutscene of Devin climbing up onto the ledge.
All right.
I will take a stealth check as you approach one of the windows.
Use your my guidance there, Sean.
What can I see through?
Very nice. So yeah, you kind of creep up to one of the windows on the sill and you kind of clean it off with like the heel of your hand and like peek in the window, and Inside, uh, you see a haggard, heavy-set old woman with a face as wrinkled as a boiled apple, who is kind of sweeping the floor and pushing around a few old bones and stirring up a cloud of white dust with her broom. She's wearing a blood-stained, flour-caked apron, and a large, sharp bodkin impales her bundled up mound of gray hair, and she's kind of hissing at two other figures in the room. You can't quite like make out the conversation, but there's like two and you recognize this bodkin wearing woman as the old granny that you saw in Barovia, and she's kind of arguing with two other older looking women. One is kind of like heavy set with like these giant um, knockers basically, and has like the apron kind of tucked up under them, and she's kind of like heavy set and kind of moving with what looks like, kind of waddling, and another like thinner looking older woman who is kind of like that's like this kind of hunched, like spindly, like matchstick look, and who's also got like her hair like bundled up in like these two fun buns basically, but they're all like scraggly and yellowed, and they're kind of like the older woman who's sweeping is like basically trying looks like she's trying to like drive them around with purpose, and like they're like the thin one is kind of rolling her eyes and looking exasperated, while like the heavy set one is kind of like biting like dirty looking fingers that are like as thick as sausages, and is just kind of like, oh, like this, epitome of anxiousness, as the eldest one is kind of yelling at them both. Uh,
They don't appear to have like be acting in any way that they're suspicious that we're out here.
No, like the interior of the windmill is extremely dark. So like you can't really make out like a whole lot more than like the vague shape of a millstone in the center of the room that they're kind of like sweeping up around. And like you can kind of see like a staircase leading up behind them and another staircase leading down.
Okay. Can I get a sense for how far of a drop it is into there from the window?
From that window's pretty much on like the ground floor. Like you're like seeing like straight in. Like you kind of climbed like 8 feet up, and this is like the window that's into like the next thing. So you figure like the first floor has to be 8 feet tall or so, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I imagine because like since like Reese and Bran were like hunters, I can like turn around and kind of give them like some hand signals to let them know that there's like two. I see three
Mm-hmm.
creature, in there, and
It's the German that's three fingers up, but it's the like the okay symbol.
all right. So I'll kind of inch my way back to get to the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you kind of just basically roll yourself off of the ledge, dangle down, and drop like the 2 feet to the ground, bending your knees and as quiet as a mouse.
We've got three women in there, ugly as hell. They don't seem to notice us. We can either go in through that window and have ultimate surprise, or we can try the door and work our way upstairs.
Is there a couple of windows in that level?
Yeah, there's a window in the north, south, east, and west.
Should we kind of, if we can get in the centre, Meadowman could go around giving us all a boost.
Yeah, Meadowmane could go like give you all a boost up there. Each of you could take a window, and he could bust in through the front door and run up the stairs.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Uh, so then you wouldn't have to worry about. I mean, I shouldn't give you guys a really good idea, but
Horseback.
I don't know if Meadowman did, but I did.
Meadowman is a tactical swordsman.
Just for the fact that I can't pick I can't pick up danger.
He's, and Redwin kind of lays a hand on your shoulder, Minimane. He says, "Don't you worry, I'll be right behind you. Uh, there, Holyman,
Woman.
Holyman."
So like, I guess I'll get like another boost back up after leaving the scroll down.
No, I mean, you would have had to raise your voice maybe to communicate your plan. But yeah, it's. I'll just take a strength or not strength, a stealth check from those who are planning on creeping around the windows, and I would like you all to tell me what windows you're taking.
Do you want mine not taking a window, or would like Ismark or someone slightly burlier be better? I don't know.
It's
It's
like,
up to you, checks. I don't want you to like be
No,
forced into this plan.
yeah. No, no. What I was planning on doing
oh
was
right,
taking a window each, then the Eldritch Cannon thing, whatever it's.
mm-hmm.
Top the window.
No, my little.
It's in the front door.
No, because he'd have to move it upstairs to actually do anything with
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, I'll take the window. But my stealth roll was terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think we'll take like a quick 5 minute break because I forgot. You all need to level up after your encounter with the Revenant.
Are we level 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the difficulties.
Otherwise, we all die.
Possibly. But I should definitely add Arena and Ismark
Yes, we
to.
should. Bring all that up with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're going to count as enemies, so it's going to make the calculation of this difficult. So I don't know how much they help you, uh, but some. Let's see. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. ASI and all the other good stuff. If you're wanting a feat, let me know. Uh, Yada yada yada. Let me make sure what stats Arena and Ismark are. I think they'll be back up with. Oh, she's only got 14 hit points. Jesus Christ.
Can I have feet?
Can you have what?
Feet.
Yes.
Thing.
What feat would you like?
You can have two of them, Rob.
Yeah, you can.
Nah ha ha ha.
Still Warcaster.
What?
Think Warcaster.
Okay, yeah.
Interesting.
Because he's sort of a martial caster, which is how I
Sure.
decided to play him. So like being able to take the opportunity attacks
Mhm.
and stuff. I think he's
Alright, people.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good choice.
You don't have an odd con, do you?
Um, it's high. My con is very high, but it is odd.
Okay. That would be the only thing that would make me think
Resilient con.
instead.
I think I think druids already have
Con is
profi-
against it.
I think they already have proficiency in con, right? It's wisdom and con.
Int and Wiz.
Oh, int and whiz. Okay, yeah, yeah.
That might be better.
It just depends on if you want the opportunity attacks more than you want the proficiency. And
Like saving from poisons and stuff.
yeah,
You know, I say you couldn't get both.
yeah, you could totally get
Yeah,
both, but yeah.
I think like Warcaster was sort of my original plan for these because I was like, oh, I don't want to play Circle of the Land, but I've already fucking Warcaster. That might be nice. It's sort of my that's how that conversation went in my head.
Mm.
But I'm a big loyal to that.
For now,
Do I get more spells?
yes,
Okay, excellent.
you get to prepare one extra one, I believe, with the level up. If you did an ASI into wisdom, you would get
I think
two
that's
extra
pretty
spells.
helpful.
Mm, look at you.
Mostly trees fighting.
Well, you've got Meadow Mane for guidance.
I forgot. Sorry, do you roll for HP or do you just get?
Oh yes, you're rolling, and if you get under average, take average.
Love that.
Yeah, I would be too.
I got 8
No.
with D10.
Nice.
Nice.
I think I've decided that Irina and Ismark are both going to be veterans because it doesn't make sense that she only has 58 hit points, or 14 hit points if you're supposed to take her on the road with you.
Sure. I don't know.
I'm taking the dumbest
Yeah,
cantrip ready.
and she has a plus 14 to hit.
No.
It's a special case Edge Machina attack.
Mm. Yes, for some reason he is a veteran and she's a noble, but she's clearly the fighter, so I don't understand why that's a thing, so I'm changing it because it's dumb.
I was gonna make a wizards equals weaker or wizards women equals weaker joke, but I felt like this wasn't that funny.
Mm-mm.
No, all
Nope.
you had to say, patriarchy. And yeah. I mean, yeah.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
10 hit points.
I've
That's it.
taken the
We'll
I've
survive
taken the
one more
dumb
round.
the dumbest cantrip.
What? Druidcraft?
Magic pebble one.
Oh, Magic Stone?
Yeah, that one.
Do you have a sling?
It says you can throw them.
Okay.
I'll make your slime be a trespass. Stop dropping ants.
I may not actually take that one by the way, which feels bad.
I'm maxing out my decks.
Nice.
Try landing. I can. And I can. Oh, am I thing? I realize I can just pair up.
Yeah.
So it's
I would say maybe pick maybe.
somewhere.
Oh. I mean, yeah, like you're a cleric, so you can change out your stuff whenever. So.
Okay, that's what I've got just now. I just noticed like, oh, we're hitting Augury, and I know that Revenants are here now.
No.
Oh, cool.
I mean,
Potentially, I don't know.
I rolled 4 hit.
is that the average? That's the average for a D8, isn't it?
D8.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, wait, oh true, average. Fine.
The average is
Oh. Oh, is it? Yeah, it's five. It's five. It goes
because it
rounds up.
plus 1.
Yeah. So 5 hit points.
Wait, oh, I just round up.
Yeah.
Or do I re-roll?
No, you take average, and average for a
Oh,
D8 is 5.
sweet, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh no, no, I
Jesus,
have.
now it
Oh, my items will have more. Right, right.
Yeah.
Alright.
This is why I was letting you all take a fiver. And it doesn't look like we're playing in the other game, you guys. So,
Oh no.
yeah. Looks like.
Yeah, he hasn't responded recently.
Yeah, he is having some personal issues and doesn't want
Oh,
to bring everybody down. So,
that's fine.
yeah.
Okay.
Okie doke.
He kind of,
Oh, I'm an idiot.
I guess he didn't notice the message because of the stuff that was going on.
Guys, I'm really not very good at this game.
Why?
Because I was like, I'll take this cantrip, it gives me a D8 fire, and then I looked at the spells I already had, and one of them is D8 fire.
Produce flame.
Yeah.
What cantrips do you already have?
Primal Savagery, Mending,
Haven't you produced flame?
and Produce Flame.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get another cantrip, I just, since I've unpicked that, I get 7 hit.
And then you have light because
Yeah, light.
Okay.
ASMR.
Oh, no, I get Produce Flame as an passive.
No, you get light
No,
as a.
you get light.
Yeah, I've got
I did. it as like your blue flame thing that could do your
Oh,
beam of light?
I have two produce flames. That's the thing.
Yeah.
One of them is well, it's a bonus cantrip, but whatever.
I don't know where you would have gotten.
That's Circle of Land.
Yeah, you
The
get an
Circle of
extra
Land.
cantrip thing.
Oh, yeah. And it can be. Oh, and you can have any wizard cantrip a circle of land, and you chose produce flame over firebolt. What's wrong with you?
Does it? You have wizard cantrips?
Yeah, it's wizard cantrips as a circle of a land. I'm pretty sure.
No, they get the arcane recovery.
Oh no, no, no! I'm thinking of the high elves get a wizard cantrip. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah, circle of the land you get. So you
So I do have a cantrip.
yes.
So you should,
Uh,
yeah, should have four cantrips now, having gone to level four, because you just gained one this
Yeah.
level.
I don't know what one's focus on. If I can't decide, it's going to be Magic Stone.
You also have a third level
Shillelagh.
Yeah, I know.
Thorn whip.
there's savagery though.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Thorn whip could pull people closer. There's
Giant.
mm,
Poison. Woodpecker.
let's see. You've got produce flame, and you've got light, and you've got primal surgery, and you've got mending, savagery.
Maybe.
So you've got
Maybe.
utility in the light. You've got and mending. It's a bit more again utility. Maybe a bit more roleplay. I mean, Druidcraft's like the best roleplay spell or cantrip in the game.
Yeah,
You get other
what
stuff
would
you
read
want.
spell?
Let's
Druid spell.
see. Whoa, hold on.
I mean, if he's
Uh,
somewhere with his mother and
Thunder.
oh,
There's yeah. If you're gonna go with like RPG things, I would say either Shape Water or Thunderclap because of your
I was kind of thinking Gust for that
Gus.
sea breeze thing.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that too. That's a good one. So yeah, Gust, Shape Water, or Thunderclap to lean in.
Like water come with a bang and push people.
Sure.
because that's what happens. You cast that once,
And then
out the sea for you.
instantly get
Okay. Anyone else need help choosing their cantrips?
I know I can rejig my prepared spells. Can I rejig my cantrips as well? Is that a thing?
Well, you can with like the UA at a level up, you can change out one cantrip for another.
Okay.
I will allow that.
Just 'cause I like well no Rob has mending. I feel bad having two mending
that
spells.
is fucking annoying.
Mending is a very good spell, but that's up to you. I will let you swap that out a level up if you want.
I would say it hasn't been used very often.
It hasn't.
So
Yeah.
to my mind, like Meadow Main is a fixer of people or
Mhm.
problems and stuff, and I could see him fixing things for people in
Yeah,
that
that
way.
was my logic. I'm gonna keep it because it's good for.
Yeah, it's also very good for like if you're doing because you did like some carving stuff too, didn't you?
Mhm.
It makes sense for him to have mending if he's a wood carver,
Yeah.
I think. Like since you can't have prestidigitation, mending makes sense because you could just like take two things and be like bloop, now you're one.
I felt like the idea that my version of Augury is I was inspired by Madame Ava, so I was like taking bits of wood and I'm like carving my own cards.
Oh, nice. Or some dominoes or something. That's dope. Any
Something like that.
anyone else with level up thingamabobs?
I think all the paladin gets is just the ability score built in.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Unless you get the bonegrinders.
Don't you get an extra spell though, don't you?
Uh,
For Jade?
no, not.
You can prepare another spell though, Dan. Right?
Yes, can.
Yeah.
We didn't get more slots because we got 3 slots, I think, free.
Yeah. But you can prepare another one and Jade you don't get another choice?
Yeah, I really want to do that.
Let me see.
Is it worth taking
Oh yeah, no, I guess you don't.
those spell
I
points?
mean, it was hella broken before the nerf. Now it's just, I think it's one person per turn or something.
Yeah.
It was still okay.
Yeah. it becomes yeah, it becomes base instead of being what it was, it now becomes more in line with aura vitality. So aura vitality is one of my favorite spells because Elishon took it as one of her magical secrets. So it's up to you.
I better take something more utility like locate object or
Well, you have to consider that you can change out your spells every day. So
can I?
yeah, you're a
You're a
druid.
druid, you're a divine caster. You can change your
I'm
spells.
kind of not the only one who didn't realize this.
Yeah, the only people who can't change their spells at levels up are rangers and sorcerers and bards and warlocks. Or not, yeah, not at level up. At every day, sorcerers are stuck with their spells, warlocks are stuck with their spells, bards are stuck with their spells, and rangers are stuck with their spells. Everyone else can change them at will.
Wizards technically are stuck, but they get so many spells it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wizards are stuck with what they choose in their spell book, but they can change what they prepare every day. They know more spells than they can prepare anyway. As they start off with six and they can add to their spell book.
Too.
Yeah.
Druid equals
Crazy thinking.
Yeah, that's why I like, Dawnfire is always like, wait a minute, I gotta pick my spells for the day. Okay, now you guys can go.
ah, you do say that all the
I
time.
do say that all the time.
Not that she's true.
Yeah. And and
Maybe.
and Abershmina says it all the time because again, she gets to change them every day. Is everyone good? Everyone ready?
Born ready. Let's kill some old
Check said he
wolves.
would be right back.
Oh, okay, okay. While he's BRB, then I'm gonna go to the ladies' room. You can talk amongst yourselves.
being played a bit, maybe.
All right, bitches, are you ready to die?
I'll
Whoa, whoa, whoa! How long
The
have you been
hostility.
working on that?
Why with the bitches? Why with the bitches?
see.
Whoa!
I love you
What
so much.
bitches?
I'm sorry.
Don't be
You're not.
embarrassed. Don't.
I'm sorry.
Just come on in.
Like,
This is what I imagine it's like when people.
This is like what?
This is what I imagine it's like when Jade wants me.
alright, people ready to die?
All right, bitches.
You fuckers ready to die.
Yeah, Jade is definitely more of a fuckers than a bitches person.
Yeah.
There are two types of people, fuckers and bitches.
Is there any chance that I could get off a preparatory spell before and wouldn't blow the entire stack?
Oh, that depends on what the spell is, my friend. But you can do whatever you want. Um,
Sorry?
I'm sorry, I didn't. I said that depends on what the spell is, my friend.
Hello?
Hello,
Uh-oh.
hello.
Oh no.
Oh my.
That was a little bit shocking.
That was
Ooh. I'm not sure what happened there. I said you can try anything.
okay. Yeah.
But before you do, I will go ahead and get everybody's window, just in case it does fuck everything up.
Uh,
I could make one to go up and I'll be on the north face or whatever with the face with the door, so I could say this and then like Meadowman could boost me up and then go through.
Okay, so you're gonna take um,
Front face.
front face. That would be the south.
South. Okay.
Just because I know that it's kind of hard to tell in a 3D space, I'm just kind of imagining since the compass rose says north is that away, it's gonna north is gonna be the one that you guys can't see here. So
Also, I just want to point out, because it's going to annoy me if I don't. The on the big overlay, the blades are on the south facing side, but on the little version, they're on the north.
yeah, um, deal with it.
Okay, fine.
So Meadowmane is taking the door, and I think I'm gonna have Arena and Ismark with you because then I don't have to roll them stealth checks. I think Redwin will be with Minar. So Minar, what window are you taking?
I have west.
Okay, Minar and Redwin to the west.
I think that's right.
We'll be all right, Redwin says. So Devin, are you north or east?
I'll take north.
And that leaves Reese to the east.
Reach to the east, baby.
Reese to the east. I'll go ahead and just take some preemptive initiative rolls while we're dealing with everything. Sure, you're not.
Almost basket.
That would be a really practical way of, covering
Pick up,
face
yeah.
saving.
Basket full of piss. And get all over your shoes. It's all those
Yeah.
fuckers for.
Maybe that's why he's mad. He's got all over his shoes.
Bugger.
Uh, I got
Uh,
16.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Full roll,
is
but
that
high
shit?
modifier.
I rolled 2 for a 3 for the record.
I rolled 6.
22!
Okay.
I rolled! You guys all stand in basket with this.
Okay, so 22, who was the next highest?
16 for me. I believe that's.
Okay, and then who? Sorry. Uh,
hold on, I got a 20. Sorry, I'm
Oh,
still. Sorry, I was tracking up over past basket.
I kind of want to replace that scene where I give Reese the wing statue with just a piss basket now. Just
let's see. Minar is, or Redwin is a 4. I don't know what his dex is, so he's not getting a modifier. Uh, so who's after Minar? 16?
Mine was 16, yes.
Wait, so I had a
22. Minar had a
Yep,
20.
and then Minar, and then me.
Okay. Bran,
And then
and then her. Reese, what was yours?
Got 6.
And what did my Meadowmane get? Meadowmane,
3.
3. Ismark is a 12.
I got lowered to the dude who's not using a
oh,
um, okay, Ismark, Bran, this is why I did it ahead of time, because I'm dumb. Then her. Reese. Redwin. Oh man, this is too many people. Okay. 1, 2, 3,
I can't imagine.
4, 5, 6, and then I have Ismark. Where's Arena? I didn't get Arena in there. Arena will go before Redwin. Okay. I think that's everybody. Let me know if I missed anyone whenever we get this going. Okay, Bran, what are you doing?
protection from evil and good.
Ooh.
Lasts for 10 minutes, so
Uh
I can
huh.
cast that before getting all situated on the side.
Definitely, definitely. So no danger there.
Good. And then I'll get ready.
Are you casting it on yourself?
On myself, yeah.
All right.
I usually face tank everything. Thought this time I'll go with a bit of survival.
All right. So I will take stealth checks from everyone.
except for me, I assume, because I'm not going up on the landing.
Yes. Basically, you guys are seeing if you can beat out their past their perception checks to see whether or not you guys get a round of a surprise round. If you fail this, it'll be initiative as we rolled.
Well, I rolled a 9,
Okay.
so
Add something? Maybe?
Okay.
sadly I did.
Maybe they all looked to that window and they're surprised when the other window closed.
Yeah.
Surely no one had closed the door.
Okay, this is how this is going to go. Minar does not get a surprise round. Devin, what are you getting?
I don't know.
Uh, you might.
Someone has a whole bunch of inspirations you could take using something. I'm just saying.
Oh, would you like some?
You could also make me re-roll what I just rolled for perception checks there, sir.
See,
sounds like
that
you
risk.
rolled really well. I'm
I
leaning
feel
on
like
That's
you.
what I would say if I was the DM and I rolled real.
you're well done. So.
You're wrong, aren't you?
Of course you would do it that way.
But
I'm trying
what
to
would
see here.
Lovely at the DM.
But wait,
Dan,
what?
Dan, are you gonna make me re-roll my highest perception check?
I'm going to ask checks. Would you rather have one, or would you rather make see me roll as you watch the
Um,
clock?
I want to do it.
You want me to do
You
it?
want it? Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna re-roll that natural 20.
I told you. I
Yep.
told you.
Okay.
See, without a crit,
Um,
you get it for the roll.
the DC to beat is 15. If you get a 15, if you beat a 15, then you get a surprise round.
Sweet lord, I rolled a 16 like my miss too. Okay.
D-
I got a 22.
all right.
I got a 19.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Alright, now I just feel bad.
You make you feel bad for yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll say that because a majority of the people upstairs rolled higher than the women within, she said carefully, Ismark Arena and Middlemain are going to get that round to travel through the lower level. So they'll start combat at the stairs as opposed to having to wander up. So you guys are going to get that time.
Why I'm last.
Yeah.
Plot is right.
But basically, instead of starting combat at the door and having to travel across a room and up the stairs, you're going to be starting at the stairs of the level. So, because so many
You
of
open up
you.
the door, and the lower floor is covered in piss baskets. Really carefully.
Actually, I will. Where'd my book go? There it
I like how
is.
you said actually after that.
No, I'm just going to describe the lower level, for the ground floor for you as
Funny you mentioned piss bucket.
as funny you should mention piss buckets. Like you hear like you the monster hunters that are arrayed upstairs bust like break windows and the shouting of whatever it is they're going to be doing, of which we'll get to in a moment. Meadowmane, Ismark, and Arena run through the ground floor, which appears to have been converted into a makeshift kitchen. Like, there's not much that you can see other than the place is completely filthy. Baskets and old dishware are piled everywhere, and you're kind of having to, like, weave in and out. But thanks to Devin telling you where the stairs came up on the second floor, you were able to just beeline to that second set of stairs, and you kind of like rush past like this huge bubbling cauldron, and like a burning oven that has like pastries cooking in it as you speak, and but yes, you just kind of like rush through this room and up the stairs, and then we get to Devin and Reese and uh, Bran. What are you doing in your surprise round? This is the room, this big, this is the upper floor. This is the room that you guys are going into. So basically, I don't have a pointer on this scene, but north, south, east, west, that's where you guys are. So, and like the three women are kind of arrayed in this room. We'll say that one of them is in like this south eastern corner, and then like the two younger ones are over here on the northwestern.
This they're brushing up bones and stuff. This mill is
Hmm.
it milling bones effectively on this little
It is
floor.
not currently milling. Um, let's see. Um,
So stations.
yeah, no,
You
that's
are,
it's pretty much like you see the women in the bone mill, and like you kind of crash open the windows, and they all kind of turn to face like the windows closest to them. So like the two younger ones face the western and northern window, while the eldest faces this one to the south and east. And I'll just give you boom, boom, boom. They kind of like see you all, and the illusions that Devon saw fade as their true forms are revealed. The elderly woman that you saw in Barovia gives way to like this dark, uh, black-skinned hag with like curling, twisting horns and thin and spindly, and the two younger ones turn into these uh, younger and younger look more younger looking, but yeah, they lose their human appearance and take on the forms of three night hags.
Okay.
Yeah, it's totally fine. You're fine.
Uh, second round then. I think Devon, you got more initiative.
Yes, Devin is up first in the surprise round.
Could I have hunter's mark before all this shenanigans?
You definitely could. That's your bonus action. Then you bust through the window and do your thing. Mm. Which one are you marking?
I'm marking the one that we saw in the town. She's the one with 100 foot evasion, right?
Yes, and she is the one that is across the room from you, so you've got plenty of room.
Cause yeah.
Okay,
So I got a 22 to hit.
that hits. Was that with your hunter's mark damage?
Yes, it was.
Okay, cool.
What
Rolled a
did you
one
do,
on
sorry?
9 damage.
9 damage. Can I step and continue to shoot, or do I need to drop down there?
You can stay outside on the ledge if you want to. That is your prerogative.
I think for right now that's what I'm going to do,
Yeah,
because it's not imposing any kind of like issues with me.
yeah, you're not in melee with the other two that are inside. That's probably a good call. Reese, I believe you rolled next highest on the surprise round.
Yeah.
The closest one to you was the one that you saw in Barovia.
No, I'm a fucker up.
But yes, what is your question? Mm-hmm. Perfect.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I will say that if you, excuse me, cast Moonbeam, that you can't designate targets on that. So wherever you cast it inside, people won't be able to get up in melee with wherever you cast it without taking damage.
Yeah, but it's only 5 foot radius, so wherever I cast it,
Is it?
I, yeah,
Okay.
40 foot high, but it's 5 foot radius, so it's meant to be like on one person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Defo.
It goes in there and people get a, or she leaves there as a smart person, and then we, so boom. So I'm gonna moon her beam. Needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Which one is are you casting centering it on?
The bitch from town.
The bitch from town. All right, she's gonna make a Constitution saving throw. That is going to be a 14.
Fuck!
Oh no.
That is my DC. Could
Uh,
you tell me to take a feat instead of next time? Or
um,
someone else?
it still takes half damage.
13 radiant after 6.
That's not nothing. As the woman screams and it's like and she's like hamming it up like I'm melting.
Is she a shape changer, perchance?
Um.
She's
Oh,
changed
hold
shape
on.
to her original.
Hold on.
Yeah, but is she
She
a shape?
has changed Yeah, she does have changed shape, so I would technically say that means that she's a shapeshifter, so she should be making that save with disadvantage. Because she is casting shape changing spells.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Not quite.
that will make it an 11.
She's learning.
13.
Okay, so. Excuse me?
Average.
Okay.
Average.
Okay. But yes, then like the over the top like I'm melting turns into like like serious screams of pain. Brannock, you see this the woman from Barovia turn into like this ghastly looking hag, and then an arrow pierces her shoulder and spins her around towards Reese, who casts like this moonbeam spell, and now she's like engulfed in like this white light. What do you do?
Crack a crack.
Crack a crack. Are you moving into the room, or are you staying where you're at?
Uh, he feels that it probably needs to be a target, so I guess I'll slip in. I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm slipping in by the stairs.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah,
I
they'll
don't know
put
if
you
there's like
on.
banisters or something, but there's definitely like a gap. So like
There are,
be
yeah.
whipping across that gap um, at the
Yeah, because I'll
effing pan.
I'll say that she's like at like the base of the stairs that are leading up, and you're at like the banister of like the steps that are leading down. So basically, you kind of see like Meadowmane's like green mop coming up the stairs as you're like cracking into her. Crack a
Uh,
cracka.
it's okay. One of them was very low. One of them is a 17 on the dice and plus 7, so that probably hits. The other low one is 6 plus 7, 13.
The 13 misses, yeah, but the other one hits.
Crack a crack. Okay. Uh,
These are silvered whips, right?
these are these are silvered. Max damage on the first strike from the silvered whip. 6 plus 5 for 11. And I don't think I have anything to add to that.
All right. So yes, Reese, the monster hunters.
No, I haven't done it for this round.
Okay. The monster hunters break through these windows and like in a like almost choreographed synchronicity. Minar, you watch as like they like move with purpose, as like it's arrow in the shoulder turning her around right into this moonbeam, who then like which like drives her back as like the whips like crack around her, and it's truly a sight of organized combat. Devin, you're up.
I will shoot my arrow at her.
All right. As she screams, Bella Afala, protect me!
Give me a 25 to hit.
That hits.
18 plus 1.
Nice.
And that is my go.
All right. Uh, oh, dang. I just read something. Oh well, I won't take that back. Minar, it is your turn.
Okay. The ledge that I'm on, the
Mm-hmm.
window, can I put the Eldritch Cannon on that, just outside the window?
Definitely. But if you put it there, you'll have to move into the windmill to see the combat. But you can have that cannon there. But like, because there's like the stairs right there and the window that you took that are leading up. So you'll have to like move in to see any better. And like the Eldritch Cannon will only have a line of sight on the two younger looking hags.
That's fine. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to set it up there.
All right.
That's my action to set it up, but I can use my bonus action to use fire it.
All right. Now, which one are you
Um,
going to fire at? Are you going to fire at the one in the night robes, or the scrambly looking one with all the skulls?
okay, well, I'm designating them all by the Golden Girls' names.
Mm-hmm.
So the one that's been getting the chat picked out thus far is obviously Dorothy.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy
Okay.
needs if is Blanche and Rose. for Blanche.
Blanche being the one in the middle.
The one with all the skulls.
Oh, one with the skulls. Okay, cool.
That's going to be an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Force damage pushed back 5 feet.
How much force damage?
8.
8. All right. And she's pushed back 5 feet, so that kind of puts her closer to the window where Devon is. Uh, Actually, I said she was like right there at the base of the stairs. I'm gonna give her a dex save to see if she falls down them.
Are
Uh,
we coming up? Or
yes.
going down?
uh, Rose, right? You said, aka
Blanche.
Blanche. Sorry, the one with the skunk stripe in her hair is going to tumble backwards as this eldritch cannon blasts into her, and she like slips on like the stairs. And Meadowmane, you see like this spindly horned hag tumble down towards you, and
Hit you. Wait.
and so that is Minar's go. Are you gonna stay there on the ledge for this turn, or are you gonna move inside?
I'm going to stay on the ledge for this one.
Okay, that's probably a good idea. It is now Bella's turn. That is the one that did not get shoved down the stairs. And so the closest person to her is Devon. So she turns towards Devon and she kind of hisses at you and is all like, sneaky sneak thieves! And she's going to raise a gnarled finger, and I will need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please, as she casts Bestow Curse.
That's going to be 17.
17. What is her save? Her DC? 12 plus her. Ooh, net saves. Good, lucky you. But you like feel like this heavy curse kind of lay across your shoulders, and like your fingers go numb, and you kind of like feel like your arrows like fumbling out of your hands for a brief second, but then like the your grip returns, and you like pull another from your quiver, and you think to yourself, "Nice try, bitch." Uh, Ismark is charging up the stairs with Meadowmane, and he is going to do a slicey slice into the prone woman on the stairs in front of him, and is definitely gonna hit. What do veterans do for damage with longsword? Oh, he's got multiple attacks, so he'll roll again. Both hit.
Beating up on that prone crone.
Yeah, on a prone crone. He is using that with both hands because he doesn't have a shield. So that is an 11 and 4 points damage on poor Bella there. I'm gonna say 4. Oh shoot, his stuff isn't silvered, so she's going to only take half of that. Yeah, his longsword doesn't cut into them as much as your guys' weapons have been able to. Oh, uh, Ophalia, excuse me, is the one he's slashing into. But yes, Ophala, Worm Wiggle, kind of writhes on the stairs as Ismark hammers his sword down into her. And then she is going to surge to her feet, hissing at him, and is going to cast Phantasmal Killer at him. So he's going to make a wisdom saving throw. Oof. And fail. With a 4. Ooh, 40-10. 3, 2, 13. Ooh, 23 points of damage to Ismark. As he sees this illusory manifestation of bats and wolves kind of like swarm up the stairs and start tearing into him, and he starts like waving his sword around, like screaming, just ah, like flailing wildly at this illusion that is taken his wits from him. And then it is Reese's go.
I would say I was the one who rolled a 16. I just rolled terrible because he's
Yeah,
probably
I
his
rolled
best
terrible.
rolls.
Yeah, I rolled a
Mixed us
six.
up on the
Did I miss you? I missed you, Bran. It is your turn. You go, Bran. You go, Bran. Sorry, I
Well,
missed
you
you.
kind of mixed us up because you had Reese first in the surprise round, so I don't think.
That's what I did. I think you're supposed to be after mine are, but I made it Bella's go instead. So it's your go. Sorry.
Replace Bran and wrote over it with Bella.
I don't know what I was doing. I have
No, okay.
I had a very strong old fashioned. I'm sorry.
Please calm
Just
down.
has Bran ever shaped a world of his own? Who's Bella on the weekends? He is basically going to vow of enmity
Ooh.
token. Because why not use it now? I guess for his channel
Mm-hmm.
divinity.
Channel divinity.
Because he's within about 10 feet of the Elder Crow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sweet. So he has advantage. Not his main attack. So, roll set attack.
Mm-hmm.
Great. That took me up from plus 7 to 19.
That hits.
Excellent. Silver one. 8 damage.
Very nice. And she takes all of that. She is.
He's just gonna for the channel divinity. He's just gonna like whip into her like across the face or something.
Mm-hmm. I like it. And she kind of. There's like this huge like red mark across like her cheeks. And she kind of like holds like her gnarled fingers over her face, kind of like ah! And screaming in pain. And like the moonbeam itself is kind of along with like your whips, like her skin is bubbling, and she is looking real bad. Let's see. Uh, who? Okay. Brands go. Bella went. Ismark went. Ophalia went. Reese, it is now your turn.
Hey,
Hey.
okay. Oh shit. Did Richmond Town start her turn in?
She hasn't had the go yet.
She hasn't had her go yet.
Right.
Okay. Well, while that's being concentrates,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I think Reese is gonna cast mirror image. Um,
Mirror image is also a concentration spell, is it not?
yeah, yeah, I realize that. Nope, but I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump down.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast primal savagery.
Okay, into the room. I thought that you were just diving off the windmill.
No,
Bye.
I'm not Tiberius. I'm not.
Get on out.
All right. Yeah. So it's easy enough for you since you've cast Moonbeam to kind of avoid the light that's in there. So.
Yeah. Uh, and I'm gonna attack Vision Tide
Mm-hmm.
with primal savagery, and I crit.
Oh, very nice.
So, how do you do it? Max plus.
Max
your
plus
roll?
your roll. Yeah.
Ooh, 19 massive damage, mate.
Very nice. Yeah, she's looking real bad.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna get 2d10 plus 6.
Is she? Okay. It is her turn now. So she takes it, or does she save again? Con save.
It's just a
I realize she actually has magic resistance, so she should have had a straight roll the first time. So, but I didn't want to retroactive that. Con save 13 plus 3 for 16.
Very good. She takes half of that, which is cool.
Okay. She's still not looking too good. So she's going to surge out of the moonbeam, um, circling around Reese to stay within his combat range, and she is going to cast Lightning Bolt on Reese and Bran, as you guys have done the most damage. So I'll take a dexterity saving throw from the two of you, please.
Well, I love how professional we were up until the point we got hit by a lightning bolt. Ooh, that's not bad. 19.
Six, seven. What was that?
I've got 19. I think Reese has got
Okay.
18.
You both save, so you'll take half of 27, which is 13 points of lightning damage. As this, her gnarled fingers kind of like twist in the air, and she hadokens the both of you with lightning.
I need to make a con save.
Yes, you do. You will do so with a.
DC 13, correct?
Uh,
I just want to
the DC would be 10. DC would be 10, yeah.
18 on the first roll.
You have main.
Good, 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 which didn't help me.
Oh, did it?
Even though you're protected from evil, essentially.
She is considered. She's considered a fiend. Does that do anything with protection from evil and good?
It does if she was trying to hit me, she would have
Oh,
disadvantage.
okay.
And I also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them, but
Okay.
only with effect spells it doesn't.
Gotcha. Well, she had two of you in a line, so she was gonna.
Yeah, no, it was a smart move. Amazing one. I imagine I can see the scene as we both like leap in the windows and go at her, and then she like turns around and Hadoukens, and we both like throw ourselves to the floor or whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right. That is her go. Arena is going to come up and come to her brother's aid, and is going to make two attacks on Ophala, but she won't have advantage because she's no longer prone. I'm going to throw that dice on the floor, so I'm just going to roll this one. Ooh, she crit.
Lovely.
She crit, so that's 10 plus 9 plus. What is her modifier? 3. So 22 have to 11. Yep, she crit. She's got a longsword. And so max plus 9. Yeah, don't mess with Arena. And then the other one is a 12 to hit is gonna miss. So she gets one really good swipe across the hag's back as she's kind of cackling over Ismark's misfortune, and then the hag like turns around and you know is ready for her next strike, and so she doesn't get off another good hit. Redwin's go. He's going to climb past the Eldritch Cannon and is going to firebolt the hag. He can't see the one that fell down the stairs, so he's just going to firebolt the one that he can see, which would be Bella. And he's going to miss, unfortunately, because I'm not sure what his modifier is, but a 5 plus whatever it is isn't going to beat their AC. So he's going to miss. Meadowmane, it is your turn. You have, Ismark is screaming in pain and, swiping at unseen enemies as Arena is locked in combat with a hag on the stairs in front of you. What do you do?
The hag immediately in front of me seems pretty rough, yeah?
She, like, she's been damaged, but she's not, breathing heavily or anything like that. the one that is the most damage you can't see from where you're at on the stairs.
Gotcha.
Unless, you know what? I'll say give me a perception check to see if you notice the battle going on behind you on the banister. It's a 9 on the dice? Or.
It's a 4 plus 9.
Okay, yeah, you don't notice, like, even though, like, you're climbing up the stairs and, like, there's, like, the whip cracking, like, behind you, whatever, like, you don't turn and you can't see, Morgantha. So you're just completely focused on Arena and Nismark in front of you, and the hag that is fighting them.
Tremendously. Sorry. Am I correct in thinking that I can cast then another, let's say, second level spells as a bonus action? Is that right?
Uh, bonus, as long as one's a bonus action, one's an action, you can cantrip and spell at the same turn, yeah.
Cool. I wanted to double check that. So as Meadowmane's coming up the stairs, he sees the battle with Irina and what's her face. He has his quarterstaff. He like throws it to one. He doesn't throw it, but like he what's the word? Casts it to one side. Oh, doesn't
Swings it?
flips it.
Swings it?
Flips it. Yeah, he flips it, and like as he flips it, a green light emits from it, and it becomes like a scythe, and he casts it
Mmm,
as a weapon, and then
very
he
nice.
brings it down and slices it through what's her face.
All right, yeah, you're slicing into Ophalia, I think,
Yeah, the one who's like immediately ahead of me.
or Blanche, as uh, Jax called her.
I don't think it's gonna do the 14.
It just misses, I'm afraid. Yes, it like she kind of like ducks to one side, and like the green scythe kind of slices into the windmill behind her, and it just kind of like it's a shriek of across the stone.
Because it's like ethereal or whatever, it can just flip through the floor.
Defo.
He's like bringing it both the way forward, and he casts Sacred Flame.
All right, she's gonna make a dex save then. She's gonna have advantage because she's got resistance, but she rolls a 5 and a 4, so a 6 is not gonna cut it, I don't think.
10. Not gonna do much, unfortunately, but it's something and it's radiant, and it's 7.
Oh right, like the radiant flame burns into her, and you know you hear her like yelling in pain. And then we're back up to the top. Devin, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna shoot the town bitch.
The town bitch. All right, Morgantha is looking pretty rough, but very proud of herself after blasting Reese and Bran with her lightning, and she's kind of like cackling as like lightning flicks across her fingers, and she readies another spell.
20, that's gonna be a 20 hit.
20 hits.
12 points of damage.
Right. She's still up. As like another arrow catches her in the back, and she kind of growls and turns towards you and says, "You're next." Minar, it is your go, as you're still kind of ducked behind your eldritch cannon.
Yes, looks to be. Does the Eldritch Cannon have line of sight on those?
It has a line of sight on the one that hasn't been damaged yet, because one got, yeah. The other one got knocked down. Blanche got knocked down the stairs.
Yep. So, yeah, Eldritch Cannon's going to open fire.
Oh,
Part of 18 to hit,
that hits.
and 10 force damage.
Okay.
Push back 5 feet, if that matters.
Pushing her towards the window or the stairs, do you think? Is that one, she was closer to. She's the one that was kind of closest to where like the Eldritch Cannon was. So if it pushed her back 5 feet, it'd either be pushing her into the mill, or maybe closer towards the window towards Devon.
I'd rather she be going actually away from the stairs.
Okay. So push her towards Devon, or
Yes.
okay. Yes,
following that?
you can.
Do I have line of sight down the stairs to Meadowman's fight?
What's your passive perception?
Passive perception 14.
Yeah, I'll say that you can kind of see like the black and white hair um, of the hag and Meadowmane's green scythe blasting into the side of the uh, mill. It would be obvious enough to draw your attention.
Cool. I will take out a little marble looking thing and throw it down the stairs to burst behind her.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Fairy Fire with a DC 14 deck save.
What are you casting?
Fairy Fire.
Oh, fairy fire. Yeah, she fails with a 5. How big is the radius?
I thought it was like 20 foot.
Is it 20 foot?
I thought so.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So, uh, Blanche would also be making that save. So, uh, she, however, is going to make it with a 20. So, like your Eldritch Cannon blasts her, and she's, uh, got her, like, her hands up and sees, like, the fairy fire coming and manages to duck and roll behind, the mill. But poor Ophalia slash Blanche gets the fairy fire right in the back. So she's now glowing with, this mystical energy.
Nice.
Bran, it is your go.
Time feeding people to how the people is through. And double whip with
Double whip
advantage.
with advantage.
Uh, One of those was a crit on the first roll.
Oh boy.
The other one was a 1 and then a 7. Plus 7 for 14.
Yeah, that one's just gonna completely hit. But what do you get on that crit, my boy?
Uh,
And are you going to smite?
Might as well pack a little juice into this one. So I will use one of my spell slots. I will add another 2d8 because
Okay,
they get
so
they get filled out and then
yeah, they're gonna be
fill
max
them again.
damage too. So why don't you just go ahead and describe how your smite kills Morgantha?
Because I'm rich ones. Okay.
As you like whip into her and it like wraps around and like the silver dart that Minar added to your whip kind of jams upward into her neck beneath her chin and like you infuse like the your attack with your holy divine energy. What does that do?
I figure, yeah, it goes up like wraps around the neck. Then he says his piece and like grips the whip, and then there's like a streak of this whitish kind of green energy that goes right the way along the whip, and then all the way around the like the wrapping of the neck, and
Hmm.
then she just like burns Wicked Witch style, I guess.
Yeah, you see like her skin bubbling up the way it did whenever Reese cast the moonbeam on her, and it kind of like swells up into like this grotesque, like she got stung by like 1,000 bees all at once, and then like she just kind of explodes. Very Trevor Belmont from Castlevania, as like the whip burns into her, and Bella and Ophalia like scream in pain and kind of fall to their knees as their mother dies and their coven is broken. Um, and Bella is up next, and she is. Which one is Bella? Shit. Bella is hag number 2. Cool. She's the one that hasn't been damaged very much. So she like screams in pain as a coven is broken, and she like turns to Bran and says, "You, what have you done? You killed her!" And you see like these moots of angry green light rush out of her fingers as she casts magic missile at Bran. Ooh, and rolls like garbage. Is it 3 darts or 4 at level 1 for magic missile? I can't remember.
Three?
3? Okay, so you take 6 points of damage as she rolled a 1 on every single one of her darts.
It is. It is three. Uh, Bran's very careless here. I'm just gonna laugh at her.
um, and after that, she's going to like see you, like the darts hit you, and you laugh, and she's gonna fly into a rage and rush at you with her like gnarled claws. And so Bella is now up in Bran's face, although like she can't do anything else in this turn, but she is up in his face, getting ready to like claw his eyes out with her bare hands on our next go. Ismark is going to let's see. Yes, he's going to make another wisdom saving throw. And is going to fail again. Poor lad. He is going to take another 40-10. 10, 18,
Was it a follow?
21, 21, 25. Oh, yeah.
Was it a follow who cast it on her?
It was, yes, the one that's on the stairs with
She
him.
might. Does she need to make concentration saving throws?
Oh, she probably should have.
What was the spell again?
Phantasmal Killer. Yes, it is concentration. So she got hit. Oh, by Arena. So that's a DC 10. Oh yeah, concentration fails. Ismark is fine. Never mind. Ismark is fine. So yeah, she rolled a 5 on her concentration check. So yes. Yeah. Yep. Because he would have gone unconscious.
Save the brother.
Uh, yeah, and so like he's gonna like shake off that effect, and he's going to lay in with 2 swords into that haggy bitch. But he's gonna miss, I'm afraid. With a 12, it's not quite gonna meet that AC. So, yeah, he is still shaking off the effects of the spell. And isn't quite completely himself just yet. It is now Ophala's turn, which is the one that he was trying to attack. She is going to not cast any of those spells anymore because she can't, because someone broke the coven. So she is going to slash out at Meadowmane. With an 11. That's gonna miss.
Ding.
Yeah, she just kind of like mindlessly screams and slashes into Meadowmane, and it just like peels off of his shield. Um, Reese, it's your go. You see Bella, who is currently trying to like latch her thumbnails into Bran's eyeballs.
I feel like the theatre of the mind now means than they usually feel.
Well, it still would have fit. It still would have missed.
Yeah, I'm just going to leap forward and primal savage again. But I roll a natural 1.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. Fuck it. So, yeah, Reese just kind of stumbles in terror and whatnot as
You gonna? Can you do anything with the moonbeam?
yeah, on her turn.
Oh, she's not in the effect, so you'd have to move. Oh, takes an action. So, no.
She's not that. Well, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the moonbeam is still up and glowing, but it is not currently burning any of the hags. As Reese kind of tries to slash into Bella, I think.
Does a good job moonlighting.
Yeah. But it's just kind of like one of those things. Like Bran has like his hands up around her wrists, like, and they're kind of like spinning around in place as he's trying to keep her from latching into him. Morgantha is dead. Irina is going to take two slashy slashies into the bitch on the stairs. It's gonna miss with. I only have a plus 5. A 12 and a 13. Both are gonna miss. So, despite, like, the coven being broken and, like, her, like, screaming in
Get
grief.
the advantage on that with the
Fairy
fairy fire.
fire.
Oh, no, she didn't. So, neither did Ismark. Neither did Ismark. So, let me re-roll Ismark real quick. He's also gonna he's gonna miss those with two tens. Arena's gonna try again with the fairy fire, and is gonna hit with a 17 and a 19.
Yeah.
Good looking out. So that's a 10 damage and a 4 damage. That is going to be halved, yes, because they're not silvered. Uh, but yeah, every little bit helps as Arena manages to slip past her brother's guard and catches the hag in the side where she wasn't expecting it. And it is going to be Redwin's go, and he's going to launch a firebolt at the one in the center. Or no, launch a firebolt at the one that's fighting Bran. And what is your spell casting spell bonus there, Minar? I'll use yours.
It's plus. Shit, now you're asking the tough questions. So I know what it is. I just can't. Plus 6 now.
Okay, yeah, it's that still won't hit. 13. Unfortunately, I'm rolling badly for Redwin. Um, he curses and is like, "Well, shit!" And then it's your go.
Oh, piss buckets.
Pish buckets.
Are you Sam? Is Defiance still alive? Yeah.
Yes, very much alive.
I'm a slasher with my spiritual weapon and then a blaster with a. Do I actually first sacred flame?
Sure. Okay, that's a dex save with advantage. Wait, does she still have advantage? Because the coven's broken. Mm,
Damage resistance is innate.
I think it's an 8. Because it's not under this shared stuff. So she's gonna make that with a 19.
Sure, sure. And then he swings with his magical scythe, which I have advantage on now because of fairy fire.
Mm-hmm.
For a crit,
Very,
motherfuckers.
very nice. So that's 8 plus whatever you roll.
8 plus 6 is 14 plus 4 is 18.
Very nice.
As the scythe cleaves through her and he pulls it away, a little pink energy rose pops out on the top.
Yeah, and similarly, the like green, as like the green scythe like slices through her skin, it like leaves like this trail of green light that kind of makes her skin blacken and shrivel as it tears through her. Devin, it's your go. The target of your hunter's mark is dead.
So I will bonus action move my hunter's mark. Which one, like, am I gonna have disadvantage? None of them are up in my grill, right?
No, because the one that was up in your grill, but wasn't quite up into combat with you, turned and attacked Bran for killing her mom. So you've got her, and you've got the one. If you step into the windmill, you could have line of sight on the one that is doing battle with Arena and Ismark and Meadowmane.
I'm gonna do that same thing.
All right.
So my hunter's mark. My hunter's mark for that one
Mm-hmm.
is 21 to hit.
That hits. As your attention focuses on her, and like everything else kind of goes all blurry, and like she comes into like crystal clear focus.
That's going to be 17 points of damage.
Very nice. As this arrow kind of pierces her in the back, and like the broadhead of it kind of comes through and pierces her through the collarbone, and like Bran, you can kind of see like the silver tipped arrow like poking through her skin as she screams in pain. Uh, Anything else in your turn?
No, that's it.
All right, mine are. It has
Got a black.
no because it's behind. The Eldritch Cannon is in the window, and so it can't really see like full line of sight. 15 feet.
So,
It might be able to see the one on the stairs, but barely. It's gonna have cover. They're gonna have like half cover because it's up in a window and she's down on the stairs a bit.
Is it a tiny creature? Could you go over, pick it up, help it through the window,
It would take his action.
no? And then
yeah, yeah.
I think it takes your action to move it, or is it bonus action after you've summoned it?
Bonus action to use it and activate it. Is it what you said?
Yeah, if you wanted to, if it's a bonus action to move it, you could like, it could move through the window and then up the stairs towards the third level a bit, and then it would have line of sight on both of them.
Yeah, I'll send that to them, get line of sight as well. I love what line of sight is, so let's firebolt her.
That's the one on the stairs, right?
Just doing that for Brad.
Okay, okay, cool.
18 to hit.
18 hits.
6 fire damage.
All right. She's starting to look a little toasted, but in comparison to her sister, she's like fresh as roses. Because I think I had been doing damage to the wrong one. Devin, how much damage did you do the last round?
17.
I'm going to move that damage around a bit. Come on. 17 damage to her. She's going to heal 17. There we go. And then Reese didn't damage her, so yeah, that was the only damage I misplaced. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. I think,
Mine was covered.
yeah, his turret now has moves up the stairs a bit, and now has line of sight on both Rose and Blanche. Checks.
And I
I'm.
move and heal at the same time.
I don't know. Can it?
No.
It's not really that clear to me. In each of your turns, you take a bonus action to cause the cannon to activate if you're within 60 feet of it. As part of the same bonus action, direct the cannon to walk down onto 15 feet, clearing up space.
It sounds like you can move it. If it's activating it, is firing it. So then, I would
Yeah,
say that moving as part of that same action, you can move. That means you can move and make it attack.
okay. But not the take the piss.
You got Hag on the stairs and Hag attacking Bran.
Yeah, hag attacking Bran, 19 to hit.
That hits.
2d8, 10 force damage, and 5 feet shift.
Okay. So it blasts into the back of her, and it's like ripped free from Bran, and she's like slams into like the stone wall behind him. As kind of like shifts out of the way like a bullfighter, as she like slams into the wall. Bran, it is now your go. You're no longer physically engaged with her.
I like the idea that like the arrow goes through, gives him an opening, and he just like where like leg is raised, and then she just gets sideswiped and is forced to hit him.
Mm-hmm.
He is gonna turn to where she ended up. She's now no longer in combat with me.
Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna take a step back then, basically like 5 foot back, I guess.
Yeah.
Get some room as the whips kind of get withdrawn back. And cracker.
Cracker, cracker.
One misses again, and the other one is an 18. So I don't have advantage on this one.
Okay. Do you want to? Do you have a thing where you can like force movement her by giving up damage?
I can grapple, disarm, trip, or pull towards me, basically.
Mm.
No.
I was gonna say, if you want to be super clever, you can move on the other side of the moonbeam and then pull her into the moonbeam.
That would be kind of clever, wouldn't it?
It would be kind of clever.
I'll go with that.
That'd be
So
very grand.
Yeah.
he manages to latch onto her as she's like shaken against the wall or something, and he'll, I don't know, maybe leap the gap where the stairs is or something, and yeah, like pull her. So instead that 18 I said to hit,
hmm
that's the grapple check, yeah.
She fails with a 13 plus 2 on the dice.
Right.
So now
So
she has to make a con save. She's in the moonbeam.
yeah, he'll drag her into the moonbeam.
Ooh, that is a 2 and a 4 for 7. So if you want to roll some moonbeam damage there, Reese.
Yes, that's what I love to hear.
The coordination, I remember.
10.
Very nice.
So yeah, she's currently grappled and in that spot, so she'll have to break free to move out of it.
And I believe it is her turn again, so she'll make another con save. Does a 14 save?
It was against the original. Do you want me to roll
No,
against
no,
the
no, no,
original
no.
or
She's
against
con
what
con
you rolled?
saving the moonbeam.
Oh,
Yeah, 14 saves.
Okay, so she'll take half.
Yeah, she takes half of 15.
Okay. She's looking rough now. And she's then going to try and she can't cast a spell while restrained because her at wills are fucking somatic. Yep, so she can't do it.
that's on me because I
If you're
uh,
restrained, you can't move your hands, so you can't do somatic stuff. So she's gonna try and
okay.
break the grapple. Which, like, we'll rule that on you guys too if it ever comes up.
It could also
A
be near Bran if sorry, near Reese if I'm not sure if she wanted to
11.
attack him or she could try to break out.
Nah, she Reese has stayed near the window, I think. He would have had to step kind of sideswiped his own moonbeam, otherwise he would have had to make his own saves. An 11 does not break the grapple. Yes.
Do you want again? Do you want me to roll as like an active fight between us, or do you want
Yeah.
it set as the original thing? Okay,
Yeah.
we'll roll. That was her like athletics or whatever to try and break
Oh
out.
yeah, she could do athletics too. 13.
Okay, good. And oh no, roll 13 as well. Tap out. I'm not
Then
very strong. Sorry, tap out.
So
Yeah,
let's.
she'll break out.
Yeah, she'll break out, but it took her action to do so. So she's just going to move out of the moonbeam. In uh, so she'll have to move through the moonbeam again to get at Reese. And you said you leaped over the banister, so she's going to uh, move towards not being able to see the target of her ire. She's going to go to the bitch that keeps shooting her with arrows and is going to like move up on Devon.
Also, technically, you can only be attacked by the moonbeam once on the turn. It's when you enter for the first time.
Technically, she entered for her.
Okay.
She entered on one turn and then had to start her turn. Technically.
Which means that she could move anywhere she wanted.
Oh, I see, I
She's
see, I
already
see.
taken the damage, but she can go for Devon if she wants.
Yeah, Devon's been doing some nasty, so she's gonna go after Devon. If she gets another chance to. We'll see how that goes for her. Uh, is now Ismark's go. He's gonna try and cut into this hag that is messing with y'all on the stairs. Ooh, and he crits. Brother and sister critting together.
Fucking.
That is 18 that she's going to resist because it is no magical. but that's still not bad. Oh, it's got on advantage too, so I'll roll again for the other one that missed. Um, 17. Yeah, that hits. So he's gonna get a regular hit on the other one and roll a 10 plus 3, 4, 6 damage to her. So he's getting some of his own done. And Ophalia is getting the S kicked out of her. And is going to try and swipe at Meadowmane again.
Bring it.
Or actually, after it didn't work out too well for her the first time, she is also going to cast Magic Missile. Even though she's like surrounded by all sides, it's like the one thing she can do without disadvantage. That is going to be 8 points of damage to you, Meadowmane. And she's getting desperate. um, and you're the biggest threat on the stairs. She's resisting Ismark and Irina's stuff. Reese, it's your go.
Yeah, so she's still within melee of me, right?
No, she moved towards Devon because she broke free of Brand's grapple.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Okay. Can I move myself from where I am
Mm-hmm.
to put myself so that she is between myself and the moonbeam?
Mm-hmm.
And then can I cast Thunderwave to blast her back into the moonbeam?
Let me.
If this was an Andrew game, he would just say yes.
I'm just looking to see what the dimensions are.
So we should get pushed 10 feet from it. I think the only problem is that people will get other dimensions and
Let's see, because she is over here by the window next to Devon. Um, if you give me an acrobatics or athletics check to leap over the windmill, I'll give you enough movement to position yourself in a way that will that cube will hit her and hit her sister without hitting any of your friends.
we'll be in a position to push them back into the
Yeah, you'll push one into the moonbeam and you'll push the other one further down the stairs. Yes.
This is weak as shit. No, that's a crit fail. Never mind.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you kind of try to like leap over the banister, or you kind of put one hand on the banister and kind of like try to like police car leap across the mill, and yeah, your ankle catches the grind.
A trick ankle that I heard when I was carrying the banister.
Yeah, and you kind of like fall down in that space between like the banister and the mill there, and so
Do the part to play and move the moonbeam onto the two women. Are they right next to each other, or are they?
there you could get one or the other.
Okay.
If you wanted to cast if you wanted to cast Thunderwave where you were, you would hit one of them, but you would risk knocking her into Devon off the and both of them may tumble out the window.
I'll just move the moonbeam.
Okay. I mean, Devon's pretty dexterous. She'd probably be all right.
Yeah, he's
I
sort of
like that.
She won't take the damage, but she'll have to make a dex save to make sure that she doesn't get like careened off the window and do a Gaston off the windmill.
So can't take them if I'm moving the moonbeam then.
Oh, yes, with advantage, because magic resistance. That's a 16 on the die, I'm afraid. There's some big plays. I'm just the dice didn't like you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, that's all good. All good.
Anything else? Get to your feet, I assume.
Yes, indeed.
Uh,
Is that a role play or is that your
That's my bad.
Arena is gonna try and lay into the hag with advantage and roll 19s on both. So that is a 13 and a 9. So that's 22 half to 11. The night hag on the stairs is looking uh, bloodied to fuck as like between Arena and Ismark and Meadowmane, like despite like her resisting Ismark and Arena's blades, like the two of them are just kind of hacking enough pieces off of her that she is looking like she's on her last legs. Redwin is
Melamine?
uh, yeah.
Streaming MVP at the minute, so far.
Crit twice? I know she's crit once. Her brother's crit once. They have multi attacks since I decided they were both veterans, and at this level, that's hella good. Um, but Redwin is gonna try and hit. We said his spell bonus was a +6. Oh, that one's gonna hit. He's gonna go after the one near Devon. That is 12. So that one is takes like another good hit. Red one finally does something. Meadowmane, it's your turn.
Just keep doing what I'm doing.
Sa- Sacred Flame and Spiritual Weapon.
8.
Oh, Sacred Flame to save is a 18.
Okay. I still have advantage, right?
Yes,
Non-natural 20.
that hits.
Shitty. Right. It's only 7 damage though. 7 total.
It's 7 damage that she didn't hadn't taken yet. Devon.
When the scythe is drawn away, another little pink energy rose pops up on the shaft.
But I wish that.
Hello.
He's charging up his Ultima attack. Uh, Devon, it's your go. You have one of the hags. I think this one was the Bella. Yeah, this was the one that had like the portly woman illusion, but she's like the one in like the blue robes that's just all like, and she's the one that's kind of gone mad with grief and rage since the death of her mother, uh, and she is looks like
Is it
she's
melee with me?
yes.
I have the yeah, I'm gonna move there.
You're gonna move back where you're in the window.
Can I move around the side of the thing?
Yes, you'll lose line of sight on her, and she'll get an attack of opportunity. Okay. I mean, you could go at you. I mean, you haven't taken any damage. You could totally like risk it, but
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Is like I'm willing to risk
yeah, go for it.
the attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Do that.
Uh, she gets an 8. Well, no wait. 12. Yeah, still hits or misses. I mean,
25.
yeah, 25 hits. There's not a whole lot of space for you on this ledge, so be careful.
Yeah, don't thunder wave me now.
What's that? Thunderwave, huh?
17 points damage.
All right. She's still up and looking like she's kind of got like bloody froth coming out of like the corner of one mouth as she's and her teeth are all bloody as she like glares at you. Um Minar, it is your go.
Eldritch Cannon goes boom.
Who is it attacking? The one on the stairs or the one that's near the window near Devon?
The one that's near the window.
Okay, I will say, Devon, you will have to make a dex save if it gets blasted through the window.
Okay.
Okay. Does it hit?
Yes. Um, Math. 20.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah. Okay. For 4 pounds.
How much?
4.
Okay. All right, Devon, if you'll make me a dexterity saving throw, we'll say DC 12 as she comes tripping over the window ledge and is about to go flying past you.
That was so close. It hung on a 2 before rolling over to attract it.
Oh, uh,
Rolled 27.
it's similar to Brand's like little like bullfighter move. You kind of do another like little whoop like over to another one of like the boards beneath, and she'll go flying past you, and she's gonna take some fall damage. Okay. She goes past the ledge and takes 12 points of bludgeoning damage as she hits the ground below, and she's still alive but like kind of writhing in pain, and you can kind of see like Devin, you like look down at her, and like she's definitely got some broken limbs because her foot's not supposed to be facing that way, but still alive. Bran.
I've still got an
Oh
action.
yeah, you do. You do. Excuse me, Minar. I'm so sorry.
Okay, can I run over to the window and look down at
Mm-hmm.
who's lying and just to add insult to injury, fireball her?
Yes, yes. She's prone technically, but you're directly above her, so it'll just be a straight roll.
Is
Yeah,
there going to be a
we're
potion?
going for the window just to flip her off.
18 to hit,
Yeah,
but it's only going to be 2 fire.
that is what you needed. So describe how you immolate her.
You just like
It's,
singe your eyebrows as if you die.
it's just that nonchalant lean out the window, drop and fire. We're done here.
Yeah. Yeah, you like lean over, and like she has like no way of like moving out of the way, and she just sees like the glass vial like heading towards her, and it shatters across her face, and like her skull is completely immolated in within seconds, and like if there like there's not even screams, there's just like choking gargling sounds as she dies. Um,
I imagine that with the armor of Ladies Way, it hits as well.
yes, yes. It's like she goes from "I'll swallow your soul" to very quickly. Bran, it's your go. You said you leapt over the banister, so you're currently behind um, the others on the stairs.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Uh, what I was gonna do? Am I near Reese ish?
No,
Or
because
am I maybe?
unless you want to retcon the leaping over the banister thing.
Oh, I had to do that to pull her into the thing, so it's fine.
Unless you want to be like, having like your footsies on like the other edge of the banister and you didn't jump down into the stairs. I'll give you that.
Basically, he'll just so I could lock eyes with him for a moment, like bolster his spirits slightly, then down. But basically, if I was in touching distance, I was going to do something else. But
Mm,
he'll have to just give you a reassuring look,
mm-hmm.
and then can I standing down, looking down onto the stairs, just whip down into the stairwell and hit the remaining
Um,
enemy?
I'm kind of picturing if you didn't like jump immediately down into the stairs, you'd have be doing like that frat boy thing where you're like kind of leaning over, like hanging on like the other side of a banister or whatever. Like you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
so like you're
Okay.
kind of up on like the level 2 level. So you could, but you would need a hand to hang on to the railing. Otherwise, you would have to jump down on the stairs. But you have advantage anyway because of the fairy fire.
Okay. The movement to walk down the stairs
Oh yeah,
anyway, right?
yeah. You could just jump down now and
Sure.
do
Okay.
whatever.
Cool. Yeah. So he'll give Reese the broadening look, and then he will drop down or something the stairwell
Mm-hmm.
and crack a cracker with advantage.
Crack a crack a cracker.
That's 17 and 21.
Both hit.
19 damage between two hits.
She is barely hanging on.
Well, I could have smirked, but I didn't smirk. So.
No. Um, it's Ismark's go. He's gonna try and finish her off. That 15 will do it. So yeah, you kind of see the whips crack crack into the hag, and we'll say like you kind of like wrap it around her a bit and like kind of give her a yank to knock her off balance, and uh, Ismark impales her on his sword as basically she falls into it thanks to the whippy damage, and the last hag, uh, like blood pouring from her mouth, uh, perishes, and you will stand victorious.
I'm gonna get my arrows out.
All right, make me survival checks.
Weapons first.
Oh, the ones that fell out of the tower with Bella are not going to be retrievable. So I think
Are
you,
her heads back? I made it. She could fix it this way.
yes, but survival check.
That's a kraken.
That's a kraken. Yeah, yeah. You retrieve all of your arrows then, but the two or three I think that went into
Two.
two. Yeah, the two that went into Bella, you'll have to refit into new arrows.
Okay.
So you still have like the same number of magic arrows, but you are now down to mundane arrows to replace them.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, do you guys want to explore the bone grinder right now, or do you want to save that for the next session?
Um, I'm good to explore, but
Happy enough, by the way.
All right.
Okay.
One thing I want to do immediately, Meadowmane's like the spiritual weapon disperses in a flash of green and pink light.
Mm-hmm.
Turns to Bran, who's behind me. Do you know if hags have souls, Fairy?
What did you say?
He, wa-
Hags.
he wants to know if hags have souls.
Yes.
Oh. Um. Do I have some rudimentary knowledge of hags, knowing that they're not natural and not on this plane? We probably don't have the same.
Um,
Hags who speak abyssal.
yes, you would know uh, without any doubt that they're fiends and do not originate from this plane.
Right. He'll like give you uh, not like a remonstrative look or anything. He'll like give you like this kind of serious look of they're on this plane. They don't know anything.
Marvel. And then
All right. Do you guys wish to explore this room in the ground floor, or uh, what would you all like to do?
um, I think I think it's her. She'd like to look around and see if there's any more kits.
Okay.
And
Um,
also, there's a third floor, isn't there?
yeah, there's technically two areas above you and this area and the area below you. Um, we'll say that I'm assuming you're going to get the ones, your arrowheads out of the corpse outside after you all leave. So you get your arrowheads back from the corpses of Morthana and um, Ophalia fairly easily. Um, Within this level itself, it appears to be just the mill, um, and like the dirt caked windows that are now shattered take up most of this floor, and that's where like most of like the light came from for like this battle. If you guys go downstairs to check the ground floor a little bit more, you see like the makeshift kitchen, and there's the peddler's cart that looks similar to the one that was broken and shattered in Barovia, but it's still kind of like half built, as though they were replacing the one that Meadowmane broke. A chicken coop, a heavy wooden trunk, and a wooden cabinet with flowers painted on its doors. And so, like, there are like clucking of chickens and toads croaking within like the chicken coops, and smell another batch of pastries that are being currently baked in the oven here, and there's this awful odor coming out of an open upright barrel in the center of the room, and a brick oven that's up against one wall, which is where the smell of the cooking pastries are coming from. As like you kind of explore this room, you see that there are small human bones just like littering the floor on the lower level. Um, if you all want to roll some investigation checks for like the cabinets or and stuff.
Sure. That is a grand old 7.
Is a grander, older.
21.
VR.
Investigation was it?
Uh huh.
24.
Very nice. Meadowmane?
Boop, doop, boop, doop, doop. I
Okay. Yeah. The
The robot.
Devin, Devin and Minar, you guys are kind of drawn towards the cabinet. That being where you think like the most interesting stuff would be. While whereas Bran and Reese and mine or Meadowmane are kind of fussing over the oven. um,
Trying to get my kids Christmas.
you open up the inside of the cabinet. Hanging on the inside of the cabinet doors are a dozen locks of hair, like carefully braided and curled and pinned into place, as though like someone would do with like butterflies. Um, the cabinet contains wooden bowls full of herbs and baking ingredients, including what you recognize easily as flour, sugar, and several gourds of a powdered white substance that, based off of the fact that it is clearly not flour and what you suspect of the pastries, you assume to be human bone. Um, and amid various concoctions are three small labeled containers that hold elixirs, one labeled youth, laughter, and mother's milk. Youth is a golden syrup. The second elixir, labeled laughter, is a red tea looking substance, and the third, labeled mother's milk, is a greenish milky liquid.
You guys might want to come over and take a look at this.
Uh, okay. We shall trees it, probably.
Yeah. Mine are, or I keep doing this. Meadowmane gets distracted by the chicken coop and the chest that has the holes bored in it, where because as he like is distracted by the sounds of croaking coming within the trunk.
Oh, that sounds like Gilbert.
Several toads leap out as Meadowmane opens the trunk, and they just go and like just hop around the room on froggy legs towards the door that you busted in. Um, but yeah, you guys join Devon at the cabinet, and where she points out the elixirs.
So standing between Dev and Minor and looking at all the ingredients in this cupboard, what do you reckon's the chance that those are made of people too? And it's asking Minor, is this Marjorie, Devon?
It'll probably absentmindedly kind of like runs her hands over like the hair. That's probably a pretty good chance.
Is it interesting in burn, Minor?
I'd love to see this for an entire place. But definitely honest.
Really? Nothing you want from here?
I would take these small containers. Perhaps some of these herbs can be identified and put to better use.
Yeah, pretty much Meadowmane, I think, would be okay with you taking like anything out of here but the gourds that are filled of powdered bone. Um,
Not without me blessing.
yeah,
Presumably we would hand them over to Middleman for these rites and whatnot.
um,
Just a classic.
yeah.
I'm gonna like pat Minor on the back basically after comment about seeing it all burn basically, and say, "Do good with the whips and with that contraption of yours. You sure you hand the hell?"
I can assure you this was my first ever meeting, well, second, technically, with one, and I do not wish for there to be a third.
Hope for the best, eh?
Prepare for the worst.
I'll give you a spot and start heading out towards the elixirs.
Are you taking the elixirs with you, Minar?
Sorry?
Are you taking the elixirs with you?
Yes, yeah, I'll
Okay.
pocket them.
I was gonna say once Meadowman's done with the like last rites for the bones, he would be heading upstairs as well, just to make sure there's nobody else in here.
Okay. All right. So, Minar pockets the elixirs, of which, um, if you spend some time with them, I will let you know mechanically what they do. Um, just to you don't have to like identify them or anything, but like yeah, just take the time to try and like suss out their ingredients and stuff, what effects they might have. Um,
Basic chemistry set.
yeah, yeah. Let's see. As you head up to the third floor, there's a wooden gear shaft in the center of this cramped circular room. Um, let's see, and you see a rotting wooden closet, um, of which, whenever you open, you see three crates stacked on top of each other, uh, with small doors set into them, as though they're like tiny little cages. Next to the closet is a heap of discarded clothing, and another ladder that climbs to a wooden trap door, uh, along with a moldy bed with a tattered canopy.
So like keeping the kids in one place.
That's what it looks like, but at this point, each of them are empty.
Okay. Empty cages of kids.
Mm-hmm. As
So
you
we don't keep
approach,
those. This is another
yeah,
way of capturing.
Each
Even
crate
if he's broken around, he's just going straight there. He's going straight up to the next floor.
each crate is kind of filled with crumbs, as though like the hags had been like fatten up whatever children they captured. Um, uh, for those who investigate this floor, you find 6 pieces of cheap jewelry worth 25 gold pieces each that are stuffed into the moldy straw mattress of the bed. And shit here. And Meadowmane, as you reach the domed attic, you reach the windmill's peak, a domed chamber that's filled with old machinery. There's not much room to move around, and there's just light slipping into this attic through a small hole in the wall. You search the space around you and find nothing but old abandoned birds' nests.
Okay, so it's not like they were. There are no children here as of now.
As of now, there are no children. Whether or not there were recently, you guys can't really tell. Um, and
Well, how long have the pastries been in the oven? That's probably how recent there was someone here.
mm, that's a good point. Yep, they were currently baking some. Whether or not, since they have to powder the bone, like if there's a drying process involved after they grind the bones down or whatever. But they were baking up a fresh batch at least. Inside, for those of you who are investigating the bedroom, I will take an investigation roll, please.
Sounds better. Let's go. Checks, are you still controlling the
Uh,
feel?
I was, and then I got distracted. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have the majority written down.
I was just gonna say, just if you could open it up and put down.
Besides the individual bottles of stuff, I think that's in the UK as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I missed that.
Uh, that's okay. Okay. Do you want it in the Facebook or the Hangout?
Yeah, throw it in the Facebook now, because I need to update it after the session anyway.
Okay. So, elixirs and assorted herbs. I have rolled an 11. So,
What'd you get?
11.
Okay.
11, unfortunately. I don't know if anyone else has
I got an 11 as well.
Priest, are you investigating the bedroom?
Uh, no, I figured he was just something random.
All right. Then you don't find anything else other than the jewels.
Crown priest, yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would turn it over.
Is
Gonna find anything, don't find anything.
yeah. Uh, would you guys like to loot the hags?
Sure.
Yeah. Later, so I can buy the pastries and burn them.
Yeah. So you kind of drag their bodies outside so you can burn them and investigate them. On one, uh, the Morgantha, the little needle bobbin thing that she had in like her little bun, actually kind of was part of like her real form. It wasn't just part of like her uh, village woman um, persona. And as you kind of like pull it out and look at it, it shifts from like this long, huge sewing needle and kind of shifts into a dagger. as it is a needle of mending. Doesn't it just? Uh,
How do you start fixing this?
This weapon is a magic dagger disguised as a sewing needle. When you hold it and use a bonus action to speak its command word, it transforms into a dagger or back into a needle. You gain +1 to attack and damage rolls made with the dagger. While holding it, you can use an action to cast the mending cantrip from it. Proficiency with a dagger allows you to add your proficiency bonus to the attack roll for any attack you make with it. And it is magic, damage, combat, finesse, light, and a throwing weapon. Blah 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 blah.
Infinite casts of mending, basically.
Yes. While holding it, you can cast mending from it. Let's see. And they. Let's see. And in addition to that, you find 200 silver pieces and 70 gold pieces on the three hags in like little pouches and stuff. Squirreled away. Squirreled.
And then the bags are made of squirrel.
No. Well, I suppose they could be made from ermine.
Right.
But, there you go. Is there anything else that you all would like to do? It is kind of pressing on into, I think, 4 in the afternoon by now. You're not entirely sure you'd be able to make it to the village Valaki by nightfall, so you could make some progress there or try and push through. You would spend several hours in the dark before you make it there. It's like, so you could either hold up here for the rest of the evening, clearing out the bone grinder, or it smells bad, especially that pot in the center or that barrel in the center of the first floor, but it has doors and a roof and all of that other goodness. So that is up to you. You can make some time as you will, and if you rest here and then travel on to Valaki, you'll be arriving around midday tomorrow. If you push for as far as you can, you'd be getting in there about mid morning. If you camp in the middle of the road somewhere. But that's up to you all.
What's worse, camping in this still? Camping in the dark on the side of the road someplace? Or walking through the night?
Suppose that is something that you all could think about and make your decision for next week, as I think that's probably a good place to end this.